With the war in Ukraine entering its fourth week, more than 3 million people have fled the country. Over 2 million of them have come to Poland. Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Moldova have also seen increasing numbers of refugees. The response at the local level has been extraordinary, and citizens, local governments, and NGOs have responded swiftly to provide Ukrainians with shelter, food, and transport. However, this is taking a considerable toll on public services at the local level, simply because of the unprecedented number of people in need. So, what has been the EU response to all of this? There have been several actions, two of which I want to highlight now. First, the activation of the Temporary Protection Directive, to which all member states have agreed unanimously, an unprecedented move. This allows for a quick process to grant Ukrainians protection of up to 3 years in the EU, which means that they will have access to education, employment, and public services. This is supposed to reduce pressure on asylum systems at the national level, and it will allow for the distribution of Ukrainian refugees among EU member states. Second, and to support these measures, the EU is in the process of adapting funding possibilities. This is happening in two main areas, in Home Affairs funds and in Cohesion funds. On one side, the Commission wants to extend by 1 year the period during which unspent Home Affairs funds of the last funding period, 2014 to 2020, can be spent. There are also talks to re-examine and potentially redirect national funding programs under AMIF for the current funding period of 2021 to 2027. And the Commission may release additional emergency funding to support Eastern European member states that are affected most by the increase of arrivals from Ukraine. On the other side, the Commission wants to reinforce the flexibility of cohesion funding. This would extend the 100% co-financing rate by 1 year and make it possible to use the European Social Fund and the European Regional Development Fund in a simpler and more flexible way to support Ukrainian refugees. However, it is important to highlight that this is not additional funding. It is rather a redirection of EU funding that is already available. While it may help to support Ukrainian refugees in the short term, cities do need additional funding for long-term integration measures. It is important that cities bring up their needs and challenges with their national governments. And here at Eurocities, we will continue to advocate for more and direct funding for integration at the local level, and for cities to have a seat at the table in these discussions.